Okay, let's get started with this unboxing video. Right here is your ripsaw pass-through converter. What do they call them exactly? It's called the ripsaw HD capture card for streaming cards. Video cameras, 4K pass-through. Now that's deceiving. It does say it's 4K pass-through. It doesn't actually record eternally, like depending on what you're sending it to. If you were to send it from the outpass to, say, like a Ninja monitor, that would be able to do the 4K recording. Now this on here says 1080p 60 frames. Now that's what it's actually going to record at. That's what it's going to send back into your computer through the USB-C that turns into the USB 3, the normal size. So that's the thing you want to look at. If you need higher, if you need the 4K, probably we wouldn't be even watching this video anyways. You'd be already a step ahead of this video. Probably, or not. You might not be. You might be, oh, I need 4K, and you don't even know that you really don't need 4K. You can get away with 720. You know, it's better to record maybe in 4K, you know, if you're familiar with it and it's easy for you to use. For myself, I do 1080, step it down to 720 because it gives me more room to play with it in editing. Now I know a lot of guys you'll see will say, well, it's 4K, and then I go down to 1080, and I'm at the 1080 going down to the 720, so that's where I'm at. I'm not trying to jump ahead of myself. Now this replaces the Elgatos that you can't find anywhere right now during the pandemic. You can't find them. Even if you do, they're $350 when they were normally like $199, or you know, on sale $159. You know, and I went through the process of, you know, buying units that were, you know, half the price, and I'm kind of looking for one right now. You know, it was an off-brand name, and it was trying to, you know, oh, here it is. Okay, I got it. See this unit right here. This one. I don't know if you can see it there, the name. HDMI to USB converter, and that's what it is, and that's what this is. And you know, this unit right here was, you know, $75. It's USB 3.0. Now it works on every camera that I own, except for the one I wanted to use it for, and that's the Panasonic GX7 or the Panasonic GX85 or the G85, and it wouldn't work. It would work for anything but. And you know, everyone would swear the Elgato would work. Couldn't find the Elgatos. And if they did, they were too highly priced and I wasn't going to pay it. So this unit right here, made by Razer, familiar company. They've made units before, weren't so hot, but this one blew everyone away, blew myself away. You open it, plug and play, because that's one thing with the Elgatos. One plug and play, you got to get the Plus or the S or something, and that one is plug and play. And what that means is you simply plug it in, and everything just boop, 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 dee, 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 and it's ready to go. And no drivers and discs, and go to 12 different websites until you find out that you went to 3 of the different wrong sites that weren't even to the company that you're even dealing with. So okay, we take this apart, you get your manual. You in turn get your mission statement. It looks like they're highly dedicated to quality from what I can see there. And this is the manual. You know, this goes, I'll read this if something goes wrong. That's how this will work. I'm not going to read this until, you know, something goes wrong, and then when it does, I'm going to bitch like hell because I didn't read the manual. Underneath the manual is the sexy item. This is it. I'm going to actually move this away here so you can actually take a look at how big that is right there. Boom. And let's just see, let me pull something out familiar to everyone, a cell phone. Boom. What do you see there? You know what I mean? Thickness. Profile. Right? Smaller than a cell phone. Not as small as this cheapo. But I guess you get what you paid for in that situation. But it works on everything else. It's crazy. But you know, one thing it doesn't. The one thing I wanted it to. So, getting into that, let's see what else we got in the box. We'll set this over here. Whoop. And I get a little bit more foam. Set that off. What we got? This is, now I had another one of these, and I've completely until this one came in the mail, I didn't even know this was here. My girlfriend pointed it out to me. There's a whole bag of all the connections you might be tempted to buy. This is, let's see if we can see this on the camera. It might be a little difficult. I try to get some contrasting colors here so stuff will show up. Okay, on this end, you're looking at getting, if you could see that, I think you can. Let me try to get it just to focus in this lens. Now, you know what I'll do is I'll plug in some close-ups later. On this, so we'll see those. Yeah, so looking at all this stuff right here, now I'm going to explain what this one is. This is HDMI to HDMI, both regular size. This is for, you know, my microphone, which will probably already have its own cord, so maybe they just want to be nice throwing in there. This is regular USB size, you know, the size that you'd plug in, where is it? Yeah, right here, into a laptop or computer, USB 3 to USB-C. This is the new fancy charger dangle that everyone's using. So that's that and these. So this is really all you need to connect it, depending on what kind of camera you're connecting it to. Now, some cameras have a regular size HDMI, which that would be like the GH5. There's very few. And then when they get better cameras, there's really no reason to have it because they don't even use that kind of system. So the best one that I know that I'm going to use is my GX85, right? My G85 and my G7. They're all micro. That's the smallest one they have, micro. Other cameras are medium to regular size HDMI. Some are full HDMI to full HDMI. You have to know this. Or buy yourself a set of like connectors that go from this one to that one. A whole bag of them costs $15, and you can go any which way but loose with that box of connectors. But it's usually micro to full size, medium to full size to full size. So those are the three you have to make attention to. Other than that, you know, this unboxing is done. I think you're going to find that you're going to enjoy the Razer. I know I do. It's so simple, easy, and it stays on all the time. It doesn't have an on-off switch. What I suggest is getting yourself a switchable USB 3 hub. There's ones that when you push them, it turns that line on. You push it and it turns that line on. So that's a good idea to buy it. Make sure it's USB 3, and I'll tell you what, get as many ports as you can afford, because I got a 6-port, filled it up like that. Now I wish I had the 12-port. So it's kind of like you don't have to use everything all at once. That's the reason for the switchable piece, the little USB splitters. And they're only lighting up and using, and you could use some of them, you could use 3, 4 multiple products at a time. Like if it's just my microphone, my camera, a second camera, that'll all flow right through that same hub, so it works. So, you know, why don't we go out there and I'll get recording and have a good time. Like I said, you know, any of this that you can see, you know, try to get close-ups on the box with just some photo shots. But other than that, go to, let me see what we got for a website on here. www.razer.com, and it's the same popular Razer brand that's used in the light up keyboards and everything like that. So thank you for joining Camera Corner, brought to you by Slippery Eggplant, and you go out there and get slippery.